A ballerina's perspective, from performing with New York City Ballet and Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater to publishing poetry books and mentoring kids and teens. Join us in a weekly discussion with experts to gain mental health clarity and achieve growth in moral consciousness. Give our show a 5 stars, comment, share, and come along for the ride. Welcome to the Growth, Grace, and Gratitude podcast, where we talk about all things mental health, spirituality, entrepreneurship, business tips, and so much more. And today we will be talking a little bit about human design, what that is, the benefits of learning about that, and holistic health practices to essentially help you to break free from any kinds of traumas and complex symptoms with our very special guest, Therese Lyander, a holistic health and mindset coach. She helps women with complex and mysterious health conditions that often are dismissed as it's all in your head mentality. And so they can finally get back to their lives in a holistic way. She's also the founder of the support group Finally Free. Thank you so much for joining. And I love this topic of human design. I feel like a lot of people are starting to dive into holistic practices. Tell us a little bit about your journey and what inspired you to kind of go down this field of finding holistic health through human design.
Thank you, Ari, for the great presentation there. And my path of finding holistic health through human design was a little bit of a struggle for me. Human design came quite late on my path. As many people who go into holistic health, they usually have some kind of health diseases or problems by themselves, and that was definitely my path. I started to go into like the Western medicine, the allopathic medicine, and I didn't really get the help that I needed. I was diagnosed with like a gut disease when I was 19. That was called ulcerative colitis, which is like an IBD kind of chronic disease that you will have for the rest of your life, at least what they say through that space. And when the doctors told me when I was 19 years old that you will take medicine for the rest of your life, I was just like, no, this is not true. I just felt it in my whole body. And from there, it's been quite a journey for me in regards of trying other things. And it was actually my mother who introduced me to like the alternative path of natural healing, because she also has the same condition as well. So she has tried a lot of things. And I've basically done it all. It feels like when it comes to like natural and holistic practices. And at some point I just like, but this doesn't work either. And why doesn't this work either for me? And that was why when I realized that it's two things that's missing. It's the trauma-informed perspective together with that we cannot take these like generic advice from that they put on everyone, because we are different. We are individuals, and on an energetic level, we also work very differently. Just because one person has this disease and another person has the same disease, it doesn't mean that the root causes are the same. And this was what I learned. We can have same symptoms, same diagnosis, but the root causes and how we heal them is completely different. That was what human design taught me, and human design also helped me kind of finding my own path and understanding why I'm so different to society as a whole. I am a projector. I don't know if you know much about human design. But learning that I was a projector compared to like the generator manifesting generator world that we live in, I realized that, okay, wow, that is why I always like end up in these strange situations and so on. But yeah, we can go on to that further on, but
Yes.
that's a little bit about my as well.
Yes, that's so interesting. Thank you for sharing. And that's a great point you made, that you're lucky enough to have your maternal side like helping you. Your mom is helping you through this as well. And I think that's a very interesting situation, because like so often we do kind of carry, like you mentioned, trauma informed, and a lot of times this kind of like ancestral healing, it begins kind of at the core of these kind of issues. So that's why when we're able to connect with our own ancestry and our own family in this kind of holistic way to help guide us along the path of our own ascension and evolution, that's so beautiful, because so often people stray away or they rebel and they think that, you know, they have to find their own path in life and dissociate from their upbringing. But if it was healthy, and if it gave you a peace of mind as a child, it is totally beneficial to, of course, have that awareness of returning to your roots and to figure out, like, yes, exactly, like what you have integrated from your ancestral roots, or also some kind of traumas that people try to run away from. But sometimes it would help if they would just head on focus on it and look at the mirror and to kind of be like, yeah, so like, what am I trying to run away from? What am I, you know, fearful of or avoidant of? Because I feel like that would help you dive directly into probably discovering your own human design so much more better, right? It's like we have those keys to help us unlock and discover parts of ourselves that really will help us thrive in society.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I think it's so, I love that you bringing up the generational trauma perspective, because that is really like how deep we go in this like kind of holistic healing practices together with human design. I have worked also a lot with detox and fasting, which is a very powerful tool to kind of shift and break through instead of like breaking down. Because like when we go into crisis in our life, or in like disease or in illnesses and so on, there is really like this, either you break through or you break down. And to really break through, you kind of have to respond to your ancestors and what came before you, because that is always what will like be presented, like where you will go in the future is always like a response to your history and where you come from. And I think a lot of people in the West are kind of very like uprooted from their history, and that's why there's a lot of seeking going on here now, starting from within, going out, and you go to different cultures and all of that, to kind of what is my heritage, and so on. And that has certainly been my story as well. And also with clients, it's usually it's this huge collective wound, and that is also why I am also, only working with women in that sense, because it's this huge collective wound connected to like the women and the feminine, wounded feminine, and the trauma around that space. And I mean, there's many people working with human design and holistic practices, health practices in general, but like truly like diving in to this kind of huge collective wound that we have together. I think that is a little bit my mission, why I'm here. I feel so called to doing that, because I've been very connected um, to my ancestors and my like foremothers, and I have even like seen I've had many dreams when I've gone deep down in my healing process. I've seen dreams of things that happens that is not within my life, and it's not connected to me personally, but it's within my lineage. So it is true work that we can respond to there, and what we can see when it comes up through whatever health symptoms we face, basically.
That's beautiful. Yes, that's so nice that you're working with women. Interestingly enough, like all of my clients are predominantly male for especially like the past few months, and it's interesting that you mentioned that you feel so comfortable with women, and I feel comfortable with men as well. And I don't even know why, but I feel like part of my maybe past lives or something was like masculine or feeling like aligned with a masculine template or some kind of leadership or something like that, because it feels like so many men are also wanting to dive into their heritage and figure out like who they are, and also on a deeply spiritual level, because men are kind of taught in society to be the strong leadership type, which is fantastic, but there's also this emotional part, there's a spiritual part that also needs that kind of unconditional love and acceptance in order to be able to thrive holistically in society too. So it's interesting how so many people are helping like men and women connect to their lost fragments, their parts of their own soul identity, and that's like so beautiful. And let's dive a little bit into human design. And you mentioned
Yeah.
before like generator. I know there's like manifestor, reflector. I'm not sure about those like those exact kind of like templates and what those labels exactly mean, but yeah, if you can explain a little bit about that, and do these kind of shift over time, or is this kind of like your blueprint?
It's more of your blueprint, and human design is basically derived from astrology, but also like occult teachings and the I Ching, the Kabbalah, and like quantum physics and so on. So it's like many systems that is like going into one system basically, and it's very detailed. You can go very deep, and as we are doing like the beginners part today, I won't go that deep, but it's basically different aura types that the whole like human collective is based through. So we can start with the manifestors. The manifestor aura type, it's 9% of the human collective, basically, of human society. 9% of humans are manifestors, and it's the aura type of initiation, and it's a very big aura that takes up a lot of space in a room, and people can feel a little bit they don't know how to approach this person because you can't really penetrate aura. So a manifestor aura is they can basically do whatever they want. They are here to initiate the new things on earth, basically. So I usually say that manifestors, they are here to bring on the new ideas and onto earth and make them manifest, basically. So the manifestation culture that we see a lot on social media and so on is actually based on the manifestor aura. So
Yes, that makes sense.
so it's very much connected to that. And manifestor are here to inform what you do and initiate projects. So they are great for like starting up new things. And next we have the generators or manifesting generators. That is like they are basically the same aura, but these two different archetypes, they have like a slight difference between them, but they are the majority of our society, and they are 70% of our society, and they are the workers and the builders. and they are also the holders of the life energy that we have on Earth. So what's important to know there, that's why our society is built around like the 9 to 5 kind of job, is because of generators and manifesting generators, because they always have um, the life force energy. They always have like an unlimited amount of energy that they can source, basically. But they can, it's a but, they can only source it for things that they are excited and lit up about doing. So they cannot go on and do something that they don't feel joy and excitement about. So that is why we see a lot of energy is in our society today is quite a lot of frustration going on, and that is generators and manifesting generators being in their not self, because their genius would be this like excitement and satisfaction, and that is what they go through when they're in their genius. But most of all, people are kind of conditioned to basically do things that they don't want to do, because the belief system of I have to do this, and I have to kind of people please, or whatever this is expected of me, or they're being loyal, or all kinds of things. But it's basically based upon a belief system that's not true. And the generator and manifesting generator aura is also very like holding there. When you come into a generator or manifesting generator aura, you will feel it like enveloping you, and it's very holding and joyful, kind of easygoing kind of energy in that sense.
That's
and then
beautiful.
we have yeah. And then we have the projectors, and they are 20% of our society, and they are here to guide. So they are here to guide the generators and manifesting generators and the manifestors. But basically, so you see the manifester initiating an idea. This is what we are supposed to do, and this is what we're supposed to create, and the generators, they respond to that with their excitement, and they're like, yes, I want to create that, I want to build that. So they are the builders and workers that are supposed to get like materialize this idea that the manifestors come in with. So, but how is this basically going from this place to that place? You need a projector who should guide the process on how we are doing it the most effectively. So that is basically the job for the projector. The projector is not here to work and doing everything for everybody else. They are basically here to guide and instruct how you should like pursue something in the best way. So they're here to learn systems so that they can guide these systems and become very like specialist in different areas. So they have a very specific point of view and like a way of seeing things that is usually very unique. And their guidance has to be invited from the others around them. So if they come with guidance without this invitation, it's not very popular. Then they get basically thrown off, and like very not good. And I think for me as a projector, I kind of recognized myself in that a lot, that when I was in my not self, that I came with a lot of unsolicited advice to people that they didn't want. And I think that is like a typical projector thing in
Yes.
their
Yes, that's so true.
um
I love this. This is so great. And I feel like even just everything you mentioned and listed and explained, if people don't know like what they are, they can find out and even like learn all of those parts of human design to figure out like that's how energetically the universe kind of helps to shift energies and helps to shift people and to realign people because like every it's like every piece of the puzzle that you mentioned, it's incorporated into society, into kind of to help us holistically reconnect with ourselves, with others. And I love how you were just describing that. I started to like think about, oh wow, like there's such a kind of like even like a scientific thing or kind of like a law of attraction or cause and effect. It's like
yeah,
this is kind of like the progression of how people interact and how things come into form. It's kind of like nature, you know. This is so beautiful.
yeah.
And yeah. If you're ready to shake off that daily stress, come join us for online beginner adult ballet and yoga classes each week to connect with the flow of movement and the art of ballet into perfect synergy. Come as you are and learn to love your body a little bit more and gain strength and flexibility with each class. All are welcome. Sign up at balletartsmovement@gmail.com. First class free.
Yeah, I'm happy that you can see that, because that's basically what human design is. It's like it's a it's a mechanical way of understanding how energy works, and because energy can be so very abstract, right? And with human design, we can pinpoint and mechanically understand how this energy expresses itself. So I think it's such an important knowledge to have. But I want to add something for the aura types, because we have one more aura type that I just want to add in, and it's the 1%. It's not many people that are this aura type, but it's the reflectors. And reflectors are 1% of society, and they are a completely open aura, and they reflect everyone who is around them. So when we have this project going on, the manifester has initiated it, the generators and the manifesting generators, they are working on it, the projectors are guiding it, then we have the reflector sitting there in this group or in this society, and we can look at the reflector to understand how is this project going for us, how are we doing. So depending on the mood and the health and like whatever this reflector is expressing, we understand how it is going for us as a group, or as like a human collective as a whole. So this is pure wisdom coming from this 1% of reflectors, that we can really help mirror our processes with them.
Yes. That's so beautiful. That's so cool. And I think
Yeah,
when we are aligned to like our direction like that, that's where we're able to kind of like melt out the chaos and our frustrations and be more aligned to our holistic health, because so much of our energy is kind of chaotic energy until we are infused into the timeline that helps us to actually channel like who we are, what we're supposed to do, because then we're going to be more happy, less frustrated, we'll be able to express ourselves more authentically. And when people are authentic and they're able to like express and channel their creativity, their art, their ideas, their personality and essence, and then they're aligned to their holistic life path. They'll be more intuitive. They'll feel what kind of stuff they can eat, what kind of stuff they should eat. like all these kind of habits shift as well. So this is this super interesting topic. I love that.
Yeah, I'm so happy you like it, and I'm so curious what you what aura type you are. So we really
On the next
we need
episode,
to
we
look
can
this.
totally dive into that.
Yeah, check it out. Like
Yes.
the aura type, it's just one part of it, and then you can go even deeper. And But I think what's important to know with the aura type, that the different aura types has their unique themes, basically, of when they're in their genius or when they're in their not self. And that is basically how you can recognize if you are aligned to your highest purpose or not. So if you are operating in your not self theme, and you are doing that over a very long period of time, I think you can also expect to have disease and health, like complicated health symptoms showing up, because you are not operating as yourself. And that's the thing with the human vehicle as the body, is that it knows when we are aligned to our purpose and not. So when we are going astray and not aligned to our purpose, it will help us to kind of realign again. So it has things coming up for us, and so it's always an opportunity of what I mentioned in the beginning, to break through or break down with these different health issues showing up. So you can meet them straight on and do something about it, and meet it and respond to it and change your patterns, or you can keep walking the path of frustration for manifesting generators, or anger for manifestors, or bitterness for projectors,
Wow.
or um, disappointment for reflectors. And these are the not self themes for the different aura types. And but when they're in your genius, manifestors experience calm and peace, and this really like peace of mind, and everybody else is also feeling that peace. And the same goes for generators and manifesting generators. They feel the deep satisfaction, like like so deeply satisfied. It's like, yeah, that is like a very nice feeling. And then for the projectors, they feel the success, the successful projects, and the success of operating as themselves. What I know as a projector, I'm not identifying with work anymore in my life. That doesn't mean that I do something that is considered work. What I do is that I move the needle, uh, whatever that needs to be done. Like, okay, as little as possible to kind of shift the situation right. I move the needle that way. That is basically what I do as a projector. I shift, I guide. Okay, so now we have to go there and there. So it's just like understanding your genius. And reflectors, they are surprised when they are in their genius. They are probably, and I've been thinking about this a lot, like obviously they are surprised that things are going well, things are going good. That they may be a bit surprised about that, from going to being disappointment to the surprise. Wow, what is going to happen here? And when you look at society, when we look at what's going on in the world, we live in a world that's far away from peaceful, and this is the cause of the everyone, most like the majority of humanity is in their not self. They're not operating in their highest potential. And when we truly see this, we can understand our, like, what's going on an individual level, we can understand why it's in fact a collective issue and a collective karmic depths that we're going through and kind of need to respond to and change.
Yes. Wow, this is so beautiful. I love this topic. I feel like we could talk about this for so long, but it was such a beautiful conversation. And thank you so much for bringing your incredible wisdom and your story and for explaining in such great detail about human design. And I feel like our listeners are going to really appreciate the fact that they'll be able to kind of uncover those shadow elements of perhaps their emotions that we do. We have so many emotions that are shadow in nature.
Yeah.
And so we like try to express somehow, and like how you described those different aspects of human design, there's, I feel like it's so helpful. It's really a great part of our personality, of our kind of like unseen part of our unseen soul that really
Yeah.
desires to be exposed in a way. And I feel like now that we're entering like a new season, we're going to have spring soon here in the northern hemisphere, and it's like the shifting
Mm.
seasons is also helping us to discover those lost or hidden parts of ourselves. And yeah, it's so beautiful. Would love to have you back on to share more. And where can people connect with you and see your content?
I think Instagram is best, and my name is Therese Lyander there. So
Beautiful.
please reach out and connect. And thank you so much, Ari, to also like sharing your knowledge about this. Seems like you have such a broad knowledge from everything. So yes, I would love to talk more to you and know your humans.
Amazing. Yes, yes, totally. That would be so fun.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone wants, if they don't know their human design, you can reach out to me and I send you a link where you can fill in your details, and you can know. Basically, you need your date of birth, place of birth, and time of birth to know it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Teresa, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ari.